Yes, sir. It is the most wonderful time of the year. It is
Indeed.
almost football season. The Eagles play in 5 days, brother. I don't care if it's our backups. I don't care if it's our fans going out there and playing a game. We are going to see that Eagles green on the field in 5 days. Y'all already know, though, man. It's your boy Joe Castro. I'm here with my guy, Brother Shy. Another episode of Breaking Philly. How you doing, Shy? How are you feeling? Because I'm feeling good.
I'm feeling good. Feeling good. It's another Monday. We got to see another Monday. And just like
Uh-huh.
you said, football is right upon the horizon. Even though it may be the backups, I'm ready to see some backups go out there and whoop some ass, man. I'm excited. I'm excited. I feel like a kid on Christmas.
Yeah, we got some good things to talk about. We got some things that maybe aren't so good, some things in the future that we got to look forward to, or maybe not look forward to, I should say. But hey, look, there's been people missing time. There's been others that have stepped up in their absence. I guess we'll start there before we get into anything too, like, sad, I guess. We'll start with the good stuff. And I had to bring him up. My guy, man. My guy is looking good out there.
Yes.
Dontavian Wicks has made the most of his opportunities. He's been looking really good. Jalen Hurts gave a whole soliloquy. I feel like when you are part of a Jalen Hurts poem, the good things are meant to happen for you. So I'm excited to hear that he's been doing well. I'm excited to hear that there's other guys doing well. We've heard Michael Carter has been really
Yeah.
giving Marcus Epps a run for his money at that safety spot, which I think is probably best case scenario. We've heard Markel Bell. What are some things or something that you've heard from this camp so far that is getting you excited? Like Wicks is getting me hyped. You know what I'm saying? So who have you heard, or maybe it's Wicks as well? Hey, join the bandwagon with me.
Dude, I love Dontavian Wicks. We already talked about him. You said you had your stance on him being number one or number two. I have my stance on that, but I'm gonna have to say right now, Darius Cooper. Darius Cooper, like he's been, he's been like like a training camp part. Every training camp we've had since last year, he goes out there, he puts out the performance. Last year he was a little bit of a late bloomer. This year the Bulls going wild. Bulls going wild. He's kind of like that's man. He's
Yeah,
going wild. Like you got what I did there.
yeah, I know exactly.
And he's like, and he's providing that type of play that he who shall not be named is actually playing. So Jalen Hurts believes in him just the same way that he believes in like a Dontavian Wicks. Um, and it's actually he's looking really good to the point where I'm thinking that dang Johnny Wilson, you might you might not be making this roster. Like every time Jalen Hurts has called on him to do something, Darius Cooper's been out there and he's humble, he works hard. Um, a lot of yards after the catch and the amazing catches that he's been having like through the middle, one-handed, snatch and grab through the middle. Like he's making it hard. He's making a hard stand for himself to be put on this team and he's not leaving it up to chance. So one of the biggest takeaways, one of the breakout players that I see making a play for making his team, it's got to be Darius Cooper. Y'all know you mentioned the other guys, of course. If you got to go like the winner, the guy who wasn't supposed to be winning but is winning minicamp, definitely got to be a Markel Bell. He's definitely
Yeah.
used a little bit of a unfortunate situation. Not really unfortunate, but things are happening to kind of like instill himself into the defense to be to the point where it's like, hey, this job is going to be mine. We thought it's going to be a little bit later on down the line, but this job is going to be mine. So this is not me just filling in. This is an open audition to let these guys know that you took me in the third round. You got third round quality, and I'm here to show you where I'm going to be that staple in Philadelphia going forward. So, love to see it. I love to see that we got these guys out here who aren't the big name stars. They're not a Lane Johnson. They're not a Devontae Smith. They're not a Andrew McCooper, but they're going out there and they're playing like it. or like they
Yeah.
can be. So this is great. I love the open competition. I like the underdog story that's coming from a lot of these guys who are vying for a spot on this team. And dude, just the competition in general, dude, I loved it. I've loved every part of this training camp.
Markel Bell has like calmed me down. I'm not gonna lie. We'll talk about Lane Johnson soon. I want to stay positive for a little bit longer, but we'll talk about that situation in a minute. But he calmed me down so much because we all knew it was coming, right? Whether it was this year or next year, we knew it was coming. I think it was a conversation during the offseason and through draft season. Why aren't we getting that guy that's going to replace him? Are we going to get that guy that replaced him? And I'm not saying, and I'm not going to put that on Markel Bell just yet, but hearing the things that Lane Johnson has said about him, seeing some tape of him out there at practice and seeing what he's kind of able to do with the first team, it does give you like, okay, we might be okay. Even if this year he's not asked to do too much, Fred Johnson is still on our roster. So if he's the guy that goes out there and is deployed when he's gone, then that's fine. But I think that Markel Bell makes sense to maybe put him in the fire every now and then. If something happens with Lane Johnson, maybe put him in there, see what he can do in a game or two, and go from there and maybe get his feet wet a little bit early. And then you don't have to really spend a premium pick on an offensive lineman next year. That would be best case scenario. So shout out to him. I hope that he keeps on getting better, keeps on grinding. But somebody else you brought up that hasn't been talked about like insanely a lot, but I feel like when you hear about him, it's good things. And the fact that you're not hearing too much about him is probably a good thing, is Makuba. I feel like you don't hear a bunch about Makuba, but it's always, oh, he made a good play. Yeah, he did this. Yeah, oh, yeah, he looks comfortable in the box. He looks, he's doing this good. He's doing that good. But you never hear like, we're kind of worried. It's always what's happening on the other side. So that's a really positive, sometimes the best news is no news. And I feel like that's what we're getting from Akuba. So I'm excited. I really feel like we have good problems along everywhere on our team. We'll get a little bit negative, I guess. Realistically, the only person I'm a little bit worried, and it's not even worried. I know when people say worried, they get all up in arms like, oh, he's amazing. I've said Jahad Campbell. I want to make sure he's healthy and going into the season. And then Eli Stowers. I want to see what the heck he's going to do because it is kind of hard to be that second string, third string tight end and make a big plays and make a big name for yourself. But the fact that you haven't really done anything, like
Yeah.
nothing newsworthy, is kind of a little bit worrisome. Is there anybody on this squad that still kind of got you? I mean, Friday we'll figure it out, I think, especially when it comes to depth. But is there anybody that you are kind of nervous about, or maybe, is getting you a little bit, okay, I thought we were a little bit, thin there or something like that?
Man, honestly, we already touched on Eli Stowers, but dude, it's got to be like Makai Lemon. Like
Mm.
he hasn't practiced at all, dude. He wasn't there for OTAs. He was at mandatory mini camp for the rookies, the rookie mini camp. And then now he's done nothing, dude. He's a first round draft pick, and I keep saying that first round draft pick, and he's been out with that hamstring injury. Him and Devontae Smith. Like we spent a lot of draft capital to get you here, and there was other wide receivers out there who we could have grabbed. The cat Boston.
Yeah, Denzel Boston.
Denzel Boston. I think he went to Cleveland. But he was right there. He was on our big board too. So we could have grabbed a lot of other people who fit the mold for what we needed for this defense, but we took a chance on Makai Lemon. I'm not saying that this will come back and like punch us in the face or turn into one of Howie's blunders, but as of right now, we're not seeing him a lot on the field. That's kind of a little bit concerning. But then they kind of like likened him to Cooper DeJean last year. He had the issue with his hamstrings, didn't practice at all. They threw him into that last preseason game where he played absolutely terrible, and then he kind of bounced back and he's turned into like the best nickel in the NFL. So it could be a story like that, but at the same time, I'm just like, I need to see what you can do on the field so that way we can see how full we are as an offense. So right now, not too concerned about an Eli Stowers just because we do have backups. We do have Dallas Goedert who's going to be the standard. We have Johnny Muntz who's going to be there.
He's gonna
Greg
be there.
Calcaterra and EJ Jenkins. My guy EJ Jenkins is still on the squad too, so I'm not too concerned about letting Eli Stowers kind of just sit back and develop. But Makai Lemon, he kind of, I think that it was one of those picks that Sean Mangan was like, let's go out and get this guy because he has plans for what he was going to do in this offense. So I'm not scared. I'm not in arms. I'm not blowing this up right now, but I can say that I am a little bit concerned because the best ability is availability, and he hasn't been available yet. Like right
Yeah.
now, Devontae Smith is out, so this would be the time where he's like, you know what, I'm just gonna slide into that number one role and show these people what I can do, and he's not out there right now. And he had the whole press conference where he was like, yeah, my hamstrings are 100% healed right now. I'm about to go out and get it, and we haven't seen you yet, dude. So I don't know what's going on. I guess the people in that building know what's going on. They don't seem too concerned or worried about it. So I'm not worried about it, but I will be concerned.
If this was prior to our last like 5, 6 years, right, with our wide receiver when we had AJ Brown and Devontae Smith, and we've had good number threes come in and out. Like I mean, John Dotson isn't amazing, but he was decent. Olamide wasn't amazing, but he was decent. Like these guys were good. They were good enough, and they made plays when they needed to. If it was before then I would have been like really worried. You know what
Yeah.
I'm saying? But like right now, it's like I'm gonna trust this staff that they know what they're doing. I do. I think that they're probably leaning on let's just be cautious. And I feel like they do that every offseason. I feel like every offseason's like, let's be safe. Let's not, rock the boat too much. If he even feels a little weird, let's just hold him out. My question to you, and I'll answer this too, because I'm like racking my brain on this. If he's 90%, 95%, are you putting him out there in the preseason game? I'm leaning towards no, just because I don't think it's worth it. But would you want to see him out there, even if it's for a series or two?
No, no. If he hasn't practiced at all, got a feel for the game, the flow of the game, and the way the team actually plays, hell no, I'm not putting him out there. Because that's the last thing you need for him to go out there to try to prove that he belongs on the team and he's hurt. Then you take away 6 to 7 games from him, or you could like scratch the season. So no, if they have the trust in that he's gonna go out there, he's gonna be a burner. I'm gonna take what they say and face value. But we've seen so many times that people have gone out there in preseason and kind of like they look good in the during training camp and all that, going to preseason, and then you hurt yourself. What was the guy we had last year? He used to be the fastest man in the NFL before.
Oh, not Devin Allen. You talking about
Nah,
the dude that was in the Olympics?
Ross, John
Oh,
Ross.
John
Is that his name?
Ross. Yeah,
John
John
Ross.
Ross.
He had a decent like a C graded training camp. Went out into that the preseason game. Got hurt.
Yeah.
Underwrote him. Like he had a long way to make the team anyway, but still, nobody wants to see that happen with him, Kyle Lemon. So I'm leaning more towards no. Dude, if you nursing that hamstring, keep on nursing to the actual game time after it comes around, which could work in our benefit because if no one has tape on him, they're not going to know how he plays anyway, and also gives them a little bit more time to heal. So I'm saying absolutely not. You see Eli Stowers out there before you saw a Mekhi Lemon, and I hope that we do get a big old dose of Eli Stowers to see what he can actually do. But to answer your question for Mekhi Lemon, no, he'd be on the sidelines.
Yeah, Eli needs to work. He definitely needs to be out there. Like, give me a couple of players. Like, for me, obviously Jalen. I think that's obvious. I don't really need to see Saquon Barkley. I don't need to see Devontae Smith. I don't need to see Dallas Goedert. I don't need to see most of my O line. Like, who are some guys that you need to see? I think Eli's a guy we need to see. I mean, who else? Who are like some guys that you're thinking, hey, we have to see this guy out there?
I have a lot. So definitely gonna be Eli Stowers just because we haven't seen anything from him so far. Willie Lampkins. Willie
Yeah, he's been doing
Lampkins,
good.
bro, he been tossing people around, and then Cam Jurgens kind of went out with an injury last week, and he kind of like they said he's small, he's strong, he uses leverage just like Jason Kelsey. So I'm thinking if anything does happen, you throw him in, you put Cam Jurgens back where he played before, and he doesn't really skip a beat. So I want to see some Willie Lampkin, Markel Bell, definitely, but the guys behind him like a Miles Hinton, I need to see them just for depth. Wide receiver wise, haven't really heard much from a Hollywood Brown. Got to see that. We got to see Johnny Wilson, my guy Johnny Wilson. Hopefully, Johnny Wilson makes it, and definitely Darius Cooper. So these guys who are like vying for like that third, fourth, or fifth string at any like position going forward, we have to see them. I don't want to see Will Shipley, but we probably gonna see a lot of Will Shipley. We'd rather see Tanks Bigby get his burn, maybe a couple snaps or so. But dude, like on the offensive side of the ball, it'd be that. On the defense,
I
I
want to
don't.
say before you get to the defense, I want to see a ton of Shipley. And the reason why I want to see a ton of Shipley is because to me that means, yeah, we know Tank is our number two. We're not even going to risk it.
Yeah, that's
We'll
fine.
let these guys go out there and run the ball. But I agree with your overall statement on that, definitely.
I had to see all that, dude. Like depth has been was an issue for us last year. So any guys behind the actual guys, that's who I want to see.
Yeah.
You ain't even got to be a world beater. Just go out there and prove that you're a football player.
Yeah, yeah. Offensively, I want to see Cooper. I want to see Cooper go out there and ball out. I want to see what's up with Andy Dalton and Tanner McKee because
MVP.
I feel like one of them are going to get traded pretty soon. Kyler Murray just left. I think he was with the Lions. He just retired from the Lions. So last time
Murray, he with the Vikings. He was with the Cardinals. He with the Vikings now.
Vikings, is it Vikings? I don't know
Yeah.
why I thought I saw lines, but either way, last
Lions.
time it was a
Quarter.
devastating news. It's just about Lane. We'll talk about it soon. But either way, what was I saying? Last time that Teddy Bridgewater had to miss a season or ended up leaving when he got hurt, if you don't remember that, we traded our quarterback over there. Maybe it happens again. I could see a Andy Dalton fetching like a seventh or a sixth round pick for us. So it'll be interesting to see if he's good enough to go out there and be a backup for another team, or if we really need him because Tanner McKee's falling off. We've kind of seen Tanner McKee had a couple of rough games towards the end of the season. It is what it is. I think that he's still a good player, but he is getting to that point in his career that if he wants an opportunity to be a starter somewhere, he might get traded. But also you have Andy Dalton, who it's like, hey, if you need a backup, he's a proven guy. He can go out there and play for you right away if you needed him, right? Obviously, they have their start. They might not have their starter, but either way, I think that it makes sense to go ahead and get rid of one of those guys. So I think that this could be a kind of an audition for these quarterbacks. Who's going to be on this roster? I do want to see Cole Payton too. I want to see what he can do out there. It'll be interesting, even if it's with the third stringers. I think that it'll be interesting because you're still going to have decent wide receivers out there because Johnny Wilson is no scrub, and he's probably going to be like your third team guy.
Yeah.
So, and that's kind of crazy. Darius Cooper might be a third team guy, or Hollywood Brown and Elijah Moore are third team guys. So it's going to be very fun. It's going to be very fun to see who can kind of outshine who at the actual game. And maybe everybody looks bad. We'll see what happens. I don't know. Hopefully we get a new kicker by then too, and we can see some type of competition there.
Yeah, I haven't heard nothing yet. But let me. So who would you rather? So my thing is I'm gonna get rid of whoever's gonna give us the most value, which is gonna be a Tanner McKee. But if you had to choose who to boot, who would you boot? Tanner McKee or Andy Dalton?
I agree with you. If we're just, taking that out of the equation, I want the most value out of it. But I would probably say Andy, just because I think that Tanner's been here. He's, been a constant voice in Jalen Hurts' ear. I think that that means something. I think that keeping that room kind of intact would definitely help Jalen Hurts, especially with a new system again. It'll be another person to kind of lean on. And communication is so different across the league that quarterbacks say the same thing in different ways. So I feel like you've gotten to a point where Tanner McKee and Jalen Hurts speak a very similar, if not the same type of language. I don't want to see that messed up. I think that you might as well just keep that going. Now, if somebody says, hey, we'll give you a second or a third for him,
Oh, he gotta go.
yeah, we're gonna have to learn some new languages. It is what it is. I don't care. But it is what it is. But I think that if you're looking to keep that continuity, which I think that is something that has been lacking for Jalen Hurts his whole career with the Eagles, keep that quarterback room somewhat the same. And I think that Tanner McKee has been and will be a big part of it moving forward. So I would go with Dalton. What would you say?
I would say I would trade out Tanner McKee. Not saying I like Tanner McKee. I like when he's shown in like glimpses and all that. But the fact that this is his last year, it's the last year on a rookie contract, and I don't think we're going to pay him. I'd rather get rid of him before he walks and someone signs him. So I'd rather we at least get some of that draft capital back and take back a little bit of his salary. Have somebody else take him on, and then they can make the choice to kind of extend him or not.
Yeah.
Andy Dalton, like we got Andy Dalton for what, a seventh round draft pick, which is pretty much
Nothing. Yeah,
nothing.
it is what it is.
Sometimes they don't really amount. Seventh round draft picks don't really amount to much. Not saying that they don't. They're kind of like unrestricted free agents, but We got him for cheap. He's a veteran in the league. He knows this. He's played in similar offenses, so I think it would be a better fit to have him. Now you lose for both of them. You lose a lot when it comes to like mobility because none of these guys are going to break the pocket and run. And when they
Yeah.
do, they're slow as hell. Like let's be honest. So if I can get somebody, they're both like precision passers. They do well in the pocket. They're both not going to run. It's just that Tanner McKee's he's younger and he's gonna fetch more on the open market. So I'm saying we keep Andy Dalton. I don't know how long he has on his contract because we traded from him. We got him from the Panthers. I don't know they had a 2 or 3 year deal, but Tanner McKee's gonna fetch you more on the open market. So if we can we wanted a third. No, I think Howie Roseman said he wanted a second round draft pick for him, which is a little rich. I know you start high, aim low. But I think if we get a third round draft pick for him, that'd be perfect.
Yeah.
So I'm saying like Tanner McKee, appreciate what you've done here, and in a limited capacity, and the morale love that. But if someone's like, "Yo, we'll give you a third round draft pick for Tanner McKee, bro," best of luck on your endeavors on where you go to.
Yeah, I hope nothing but the best. I think it'll be fun to see him as a starter somewhere. Obviously, you don't want to lose him, but I think he does deserve to for a trash team. Like I would love to see him get that like kind of 1 year to see what he can be before they draft somebody type thing. I think that would be fun. I think he can be a good quarterback in this league, and I think the Eagles would pay him if he made that decision, like, hey, I'm cool being a backup for the rest of my career. Like, I'm okay with that. If he says that and he's down with that, I think the Eagles would be like, all right, well, this is how much we're down to pay you, and hopefully that's enough. If not, then, go find it somewhere else. But
Backup, man, expensive backup.
I don't think he'll be that expensive. I mean, like, how much would you want to give a backup? I would give a backup like 5 or 6 mil if they're going to be, consistent. How much do backups make anyways? I mean, I would go up to like 10 mil for a good backup, for a consistent backup.
Yeah, I'll do 10 mil 3 years if he was down for that. I'd do
Yeah,
that
and I
too.
think I think a consistent backup, a good backup in the NFL is one of the most underrated things to have. We've seen it before. Your guy goes down for 1 or 2 games, it kind of ruins your season. So, hey, I'm willing to overpay in positions I know we've needed, or especially the Eagles. We know all about losing our quarterback when we have good teams. So it is what it is. I'm down to overpay a little bit when it comes to that.
Yeah, I feel it.
Yeah, I still. We'll see
Somebody,
if he could kick because I'm just still surprised. No, they haven't done anything with Jake Elliott, and you really haven't even heard about Jake Elliott. I'm sure he's out there kicking. Like, are they going through the upright? Like, I want to know, is he doing well in camp? You know what I'm saying? Have you heard anything about Elliott?
they said that he was kicking. They haven't kicked at the 50, so they said he made a good amount. I don't know the numbers in full. We kind of get conflicting information from different news outlets because we're not physically there, but I guess it was enough for these guys to be like, we don't have to bring anybody in for an open competition, which I think is a terrible idea. Terrible. Brother's comfortable and he's paid, so
How many more years does he have? He only has like 2 more years, if I'm not
the last
mistaken.
one.
This is the last one.
Yeah. I think
So
he.
why wouldn't you bring in some competition? That just doesn't make sense. I don't know.
I don't know, man.
Maybe he's gonna ball out, and then we're gonna give him another contract, and then we're gonna be stuck with Jake Elliott. I love Jake Elliott. Let's not. He did a lot of great things for the Philadelphia Eagles, but
Bro, it's
lately,
about what have you done for me lately? And
exactly,
lately,
lately
bro,
has been rough.
we've lost games because of him. I've said all that. We've lost games. Like that second Cowboys game we lost. We could have won that if he wasn't missing field goals. The Chargers game, we he missed two in the Chargers game. He missed one
Yep.
in the season ender. Trash. So not trash. He's still on the team. I can't bring him down like that. But his play hasn't been adequate to the amount of money that he's been paid, and for what we as an organization would like to see from a kicker. He need to do better. I'm down for giving Brendan Mann a chance to do it too. I think he got a cannon.
Right? Yeah, Brandon Mann is the man. I mean, no pun intended, but he is. He's that dude, bro. Like, he is that dude, bro. He has been killing it for us. It's crazy because we had Cameron Dicker in our building. We had some good kickers. We had some decent kickers that we moved on from for Jake Elliott. And I don't think we made a bad decision. I don't think we made a bad decision.
We
Jake
did.
Elliott was a great kicker, and he still's
Yeah,
a good
Parkey.
kicker.
Before that, we
Yeah,
had
remember Parkey? Parkey was the man, bro.
and then he
He
wasn't.
he won a game for us even when he played for the Bears. Remember that? He did the double doink. Yeah, bro. Yeah, he was rocking for the Eagles, bro. That was love, bro. That was
I
love.
remember that. That was January 2019. I remember that game.
Damn.
Yeah, dude, I got a good. I remember I had the folks over. We watched that game, and we was like, They said, dude, we won. And then I think
That
we
shit's
lost the next game.
crazy.
I think we lost the
Yeah.
next game. Yeah,
We
good
should
time.
have. That would have been crazy if we would have went back to back with Nick Foles. Like everything would be different right now. Like I feel like everything would have changed. That would have been a whole butterfly effect, a whole rabbit hole we could go down one day. But
One
it would
Alshon
be
Jeffrey
crazy.
drop away, man.
Say again.
One Alshon Jeffrey drop.
Yeah, dude, that was insane. Shout out to Alshon Jeffrey. He doesn't get enough credit as for what he did for the Eagles either. That boy was hurt like that whole Super Bowl year. He was doing half of that with one arm. Like it. I got nothing but love for him. Nothing but love for him.
We got our guys. Our wide receivers is normally tougher now, so I love it.
Yeah, yeah, and I think that was kind of the turnaround season. I feel like a lot of different like once we got to like 2020 ish, that's when you kind of saw the mentality change. It was like, all right, we need to put weapons around our quarterback. We need to do this. We need to do that. So I love it. I love it. You know, we are where we are because of what we did. So shout out to them. But yeah, so going back to this season, when you look at the offense, when you look at the defense, I think that the defense is they're supposed to be the ones that are kind of carrying this team. I feel like that's what a lot of people think. But do you think that this offense could surprise a lot? I truly believe this offense could be kind of a catalyst instead of just kind of the ride along that a lot of people are expecting now that we don't have A.J. Brown. I think that they're going to really put this defense in great positions and allow them to be great. But I think this offense isn't going to just be one of those this offenses that is like, oh, you know, we just got to score 20 and hope that the defense can hold them down. I think this can be a very explosive offense. What are your thoughts on that? Or do you think it's just going to be the defense that we got to make sure we're playing lights out and giving up 10 points a game to win games?
I think right now the defense is going to be the main event. Just for, like we said before, the continuity. You got these guys who are playing under the same defense for 3 seasons now. But that's not saying the offense is not going to be able to compete and put up points. You got to think about with these guys who have played cohesively as a unit. They're saying about these guys, right? You got Devontae Smith when he was playing well against Quinyon Mitchell. They were battling back and forth, and he kind of got the better of him. You got Quinyon Mitchell saying that Dontavian Wicks plays him hard, and he's one of the hardest wide receivers that he's played with. You got Darius Cooper kind of giving the work to a Tariq Woolen. Tariq Woolen gave him praise, and Tariq Woolen is a veteran in this game. He's like Darius Coop. He called him Coop. There's too many Coops on his team. He said Coop is a good, well-rounded wide receiver. He competes. He works hard all the time. This is coming from a guy who just won a Super Bowl in Seattle, who played some of the top receivers in the AFC.
Yeah,
Like,
JSN on the other side of him most of the time. Yeah, like,
and iron sharpens iron. He's giving this guy his accolades before the season actually starts. So I think that we're going to go out and the offense is going to put a stamp on the season itself. But it's all going to depend on what version of the offensive line we have. I'm not worried about nobody on the outside of the numbers, nobody at quarterback, nobody in the backfield. It's all about those front guys up front. If those guys can stay healthy, at least to about 60, 70% and show us what they can actually do, this offense will be humming, dude. But if they're hurt, then this whole offense takes a step back. So will the defense carry the team? Yeah, it's at this point it's kind of expected. They've been together for 3 years. You got so many all these world beaters on that side. But will the offense put up numbers? They definitely will if that offensive line stays healthy. So
yeah. I'm not like I am worried about the offensive line. Mainly Cam Jurgens. Like I've been kind of worried about him all year last year. Coming out that he was hurt and all, hearing about his back and everything, it makes you be like, all right, well, if he's healthy now, then cool. Like maybe I should be a little bit more confident. Same thing with Landon Dickerson. I think Landon Dickerson is a all-pro level guard. I think he could be one of the best guards in the league. It's just that he gets hurt so much. So if he's healthy, I have no worries about him. Cam Jurgens, even healthy, I'm kind of on the fence. We'll see what he is. Lane, obviously, if he's 75 and 80%, I think he's still better than 90% of the rest of the NFL. So I'm not too worried about him. I just need him to show up. Same thing with Jordan Mailata. I think Jordan Mailata had a tough year mentally last year, but he had a lot of guys kind of coming in next to him. It was a lot of different players, you know what I'm saying? And communication is everything on that offensive line. So when you have a new guard or a new, center or a new whatever it may be, it's going to be tough and it's going to throw that communication off. So I'll give him a little bit of a, pass there. And also he was hurt as well. So I'll give him that. I will say that, but I also will say he had a rough year. I think that's fair. But if he's coming back to form and he's back at 90, 100%, again, it's going to be hard for anybody to beat us. So I agree with you 100%. If these guys are healthy, and I didn't even bring up Tyler Steen. I don't know what to think of Tyler Steen yet. He had a good year last year. I can't take that away. He had good moments, I should say. He had some bad moments, but he had a lot of good moments last year. So maybe he is the future. Maybe he is the guy at that guard position down the line. But say again.
He threw Ty Johnson around the day they fought. It was
Yeah,
like,
he had some good moments. He
yeah,
definitely had some good moments. I ain't mad at him, but we'll see what happens. I mean, you're right. This offensive line is gonna kind of create what this offense's identity is. I mean, we could be again that 2024 type team that we just run over everybody. You know what I'm saying? And if that's working, you just keep doing it. But I don't think we will. I think this will be a quick hitting offense, something that tries to get, guys like Mekhi Lemon underneath, guys like Devontae Smith, maybe a little bit over top, get guys like Hollywood Brown, get guys like that over top, get Eli Stowers involved over the middle and low. I think you have so many different type of players and play styles that you're going to be able to be multiple. You're going to be able to be a lot of different things on offense, and I don't think people are going to be able to stop that, whether or not our offense is healthy, because we've seen it. What people do to us, we've never done to others. Like, people know that our defensive line has been nasty. People know our front seven is really good. So what do? They try to get the ball out fast. You know what I'm saying? And it works. Because if your offensive line is good or bad, it doesn't matter. All they got to hold is for a second or two. If we adopt that and we're able to get that yak going, it's a wrap. It's a wrap. Like, people aren't going to be able to stop us no matter how healthy our offense is. But you add in a healthy offense, and it's scary. Forget right. It's scary, scary. So we're about halfway through. We got 60 people in here between all the chats. Did you want to do that Givey right now?
oh yeah. So we're gonna do the giveaway for the Devontae Smith helmet from the documentary. Thank you for everybody who watched it, who left comments, who liked it, shared it. I appreciate it. So we had about 40 comments, about 300 some things likes. So the answer to the question. So I needed the answer to the question, and also needed your opinion on where Devontae Smith would fall. So the answer to the question was 4. So it was 4 receptions in each of his playoff games, and it's also including the Super Bowl, but I didn't add that in. But so it's 4 against Green Bay, 4 against Detroit, and then 4 against Washington, and then he had 4 in the Super Bowl. So his consistent stat in the playoff was four receptions. So the answer is going to be I'm going to take either the number 4 written out, and then you got to have your opinion on how he's going to do this year. So we're going to go ahead and spin for that. If you're not here to claim it, that's fine. I'm going to also announce it on my next video, so that way whoever wins, we can get in contact, and I can go ahead and ship that out for you.
Let's get it. Let's get it.
All right.
Good luck, everybody.
All right. So we in here. So unguarded. You had to answer 4, the number 4, or spell out FOUR, and you have to give me your opinion on how Devontae Smith is going to do this year. So to everybody who entered and put a comment in, good luck, and let's pick a winner. Boop.
I want to do a drum roll. I should have done a drum roll.
All right, so the winner is Bart's. Bart's are us, and the answer
Bart's are us. That's a great name.
And the answer to question 1 is, drum roll please, 4 receptions each game. So we got the 4 receptions. And I think Smitty is going to have a breakout season of at least 1,500 yards. Write it down, circle it. Great video, and go Birds.
Go Birds, baby. Congratulations, Bart's are us.
Bart's are us.
I wonder if he's in here. If you're in here, shout out to you. Shout out to you.
Let me see. Bart's are us here.
That's a great name.
Like Simpsons Bart.
That's a great name. I like that name. Yeah, he's in there. There you go.
All right, hey Bart. Bart's are us. That's a cool ass name. Congratulations. Get in contact with me on the socials. It's all Midnight Green Mafia everywhere. So you can hit me up on Facebook, Instagram, TikTok, or send me an email at midnightgreenmafia@gmail.com. We'll coordinate that. We'll get that helmet sent out to you. So Appreciate you. I was gonna say if he don't
Mhm.
answer, then I'm gonna respin it in a week or so. But apparently he's here.
Hey,
So
he's here. He's here. That's all you got to worry about. That's what's up. Congratulations, my dude. That's what's up, man. That's what's up. That's a good feeling. That's a good feeling, baby. That just made me excited. But no. Look, to get back to what we were talking about. So we were talking about the good. We were talking about the kind of nerve wracking. We've been holding off this talk. Lane Johnson obviously saying that might be wraps for him after this season. We talked about Markel Bell, and that gives us a little bit of pause, a little bit of pause for concern. We're like, okay, maybe he's good, maybe he's going to be the guy. But what were your initial thoughts when you heard Lane Johnson? Because I had a lot, but what were your kind of initial thoughts when you heard about the Lane Johnson news?
so when he was out for those 4 days, I was like, this ain't good. And then my wife was like, you gotta understand that these are football players and they get hurt and stuff too. But I'm like, it's 4 days. We don't know what's going on, and he was close to retiring last year. He was close to retiring after Jeff Stoutland left. So I'm like, this don't seem good. And it was like, okay, Blaine Johnson's back in the building. So I'm like, okay, cool. But he got on that podium, and he's like, yeah, man, this might be my last go around. Life is continuing to hit me this way, and I think his mother is sick, so prayers up to his mother or his family. I got what I got from the interview, but we all knew it was coming. I was hoping that we can get this year and another year, so that way we can get the rookie vetted. But it's sad, dude. Like Lane Johnson has been around since was it 2013, 2012, and he's been
Yeah,
the standard since that time, dude. Like Lane Johnson is the man. When people talk about um, anchors on the line, what he's been able to do, stop, no pressures allowed, no sacks allowed. He went like 10 years. 10 years, like was it 10 years? Well, he had a long ass stretch where he didn't allow a single sack, pressure, none of that. Like he's the standard. So when I first heard that, I'm like, dang, this sucks. But it's well deserved. It's well
yeah,
deserved. The man has two Super Bowl wins under his belt. He's been there 3 times. Hopefully we can send him out with a Cinderella story. He can go out, he can win because most times when guys end in this league, they don't ever get to go out on top. So I'm hoping we can do that. But it's sad, man. It's sad. It's when it comes to like football and sports, we don't know these people. They don't know
mhm,
us, but it feels like we watch them and they're kind of in a way family. So when bad
yeah,
things happen to them and when they go to other teams and stuff, it sucks. It kind of feels like, dang, that's my cousin going over there and he's no longer in Philadelphia. He's now in Pittsburgh and all this other stuff. So you feel away, but when it comes to Lane Johnson hanging those cleats up, it is well deserved and he earns every little bit of rest that he's actually going to get. There's nobody on that team tougher than Lane Johnson. The man knew he had the start of a Liz Frank injury, and he still went out there and tried to compete, and then tried to work his way back last season. So sad to see him go. Glad that we do have a capable backup in a Fred Johnson if necessary, and I'm glad that we have a future replacement in a Markel Bell, who he is actually speaking like highly on, saying that he's one of the
yeah.
best rookies who's ever actually coached up. So happy that's happening. But when Lane Johnson does leave, dude, that's a big role to fill, and I feel bad. I kind of feel bad for whoever had to slide into that spot because then we're like, you know how news reporters do and people in the media do, like, oh, he played well, but he's no Lane Johnson. Like it's gonna be that time and time again till this guy can go out, whoever it is, can go out there and he can kind of carve his own name in the Eagles' history and kind of create his own legacy. So on that point, I'm sad that he has to go. I respect the decision. He's worthy of that decision, but I'm also happy that we kind of Howie Roseman did take the strides to kind of bring in his predecessor, his
Yeah.
aforementioned predecessor as of right now.
And I wasn't even thinking this until I heard you speak, but the fact that Jordan Mailata doesn't get he's not Jason Peters is actually very impressive. I never thought of that until you just said that, but I'm like, damn, nobody ever is sitting here. Jason Peters, even though he kind of went out sad going to the Cowboys and stuff, he was our best left tackle of all time. I mean, I don't think that there's many people you can say were better than him, if anybody.
I can't.
So the fact that Jordan Mailata just kind of seamlessly, especially for somebody that never knew football, just kind of went in there, and we're not sitting here like, oh, he's all right, but JP was, oh my God, like people don't talk about that. So that's actually impressive for Jordan Mailata. But Lane, bro, you said it perfectly. It's like seeing family leave. I remember one thing, and I don't want to, make this the biggest point of it, but I was talking about this the other day on Best of Enemies, and I wanted to bring it up here. you go back to like what his third or fourth year where he had that PED thing, the whole bro, he's been hanging. That's been hanging over his head for almost a decade now.
It don't go away.
But he's been able to soldier through it, and I feel like there was a good 5, 6 years where nobody was saying anything. And I feel like the last 5, 6 years, he's finally gotten those flowers that you are the best left tackle in, or right tackle in this game. You may be one of the best of all time. And I think that he's a first ballot Hall of Famer. I don't think
Absolutely.
there's much argument there. There shouldn't be much argument there. And he did it the right way. He messed up early on in his career. People do that. People make mistakes. But if you don't know, now you realize if he would have messed up one more time, that would have been his
That's
career.
it. Yeah, you get
That would
one
have been
time.
it. So he went through over a decade of football, not making the mistakes, not being in the media, not being one of those guys, and playing at a high level, being a leader of a two-time Super Bowl team, like you said, going 3 times. He's been that guy. He's been one of the most consistent people, one of the most consistent leaders, and one of our most consistent players. He's had a bunch of different quarterbacks. He's had a bunch of different coaches, and he's always been that guy. So it sucks. It's like you lost Stoutland, who I think we were all very emotionally attached to. And the way that happened, it was like, come on, man. Like, damn, bro. Like, why? You know what I'm saying? It kind of felt like it was like, damn, like we kind of broke up a little animosity almost.
Fuck the band up.
Yeah, and it's like, it's like, bro, let's not go out like this. And then now losing Lane Johnson, it's a whole new team. It's a whole new team, and I hate to look a little bit further, but in 3, 4, 5 years from now, we're gonna have even more of a new team. So it kind of sucks. It kind of sucks.
Right.
We're gonna be losing a lot of our players over this next 4 or 5 years.
Lane Johnson is the only one holding it down. Everybody gone.
That's it. That's it.
Wow. Even on the defensive side,
Well,
everybody's
BG, BG, if he comes back, which I'm sure he will, but even him, I doubt he's.
coming back. But he said he wanted to be here at the beginning of training camp. And with the emergence of like AJ Epinesa has been playing well, Arnold Ebiketie has been playing well, and you've already paid those guys. I would love to have a Brandon Graham back on the roster, but
I think it'll be like right before the season happens. They're like, all right, we'll give you like $1 million and let you play a couple of snaps a game. Like, and if something happens to somebody else, then you step in there and you do your thing. And I think he'll be depth for the interior defensive line too. I think they're going to utilize him a lot more on that interior, utilize his speed because he's still bulky. You know what I'm saying? He's not a small dude, but he has way more speed than most interior defensive linemen. So it made sense when they put him there. Obviously, the biggest play of his career came from him being inside. So yeah, it'll be interesting to see what they do with him. I think they'll find a way to use him because it's not going to cost us much. It's not going to be like, oh, we're going to have to cut somebody really, really good. I don't think it'll come down to that. I think they have a way that they know they're going to keep him on this roster, even if it's just, we're not going to pay you yet. Wait till like week 6 or 7, and if we need you, we'll bring you. He's going to be a part of this team somehow, some way. I'm pretty sure. But yeah, Lane Johnson, that sucks. Even losing BG is going to suck, but it's kind of been lingering for a while now. Like he's kind of, his snap count has gone down, his impact has kind of calmed down, and his involvement as the main guy on defense has kind of shifted to guys like Nolan Smith and, Jalix Hunt, who's had an insane preseason and training camp so far. Who else is on that outside? Obviously you got the interior guys like Jordan Davis and Jalen Carter. So you have younger guys that are already kind of taking over those roles. So it won't hit as hard with BG. It'll be more like emotionally, damn, this sucks. But with Lane, it's like, damn, this sucks. And I don't even think we were really fully ready for this. Like, even though we kind of should have been.
I'm not, dude. You just think these guys are gonna play forever,
Yeah.
and you can't. Your body eventually, your body is gonna tell you no more. I think he's at that point. Like the body might not is not there. We've seen it's couple years he's had injuries. He even had injuries during that Super Bowl run, and Fred Johnson kind of played in. And
Yeah.
he's like his mind is pulled in other places, man. If your body's not in it 100%, your mind's not in it 100%. You can't be 100% into the game. So hopefully, this year we can do something with this last year, send them out proper, and then we build from there. But it's gonna suck.
It is. It is.
But
You remember Big V? Remember when Big V went in there for Jason Peters? I don't know why I just thought of that, but it's just funny. But either way, yeah, it's gonna stink. It's definitely gonna stink. I hope that we do find his replacement. It'll be hard, even if it is Markel Bell. It'll be hard. I don't know how you're gonna replace. Like you said, I don't know how you replace him emotionally, like as the leader. There's a lot more than just the on-field play that's gonna have to be replaced once he's gone. But before we end all this, I want to talk about the preseason game because we are 5 days away from actual football again. I don't care who the hell's play. You could put our cheerleaders out there. I just want to see our jerseys moving on grass. But we are going to see some important matchups, important battles, I guess you could say, when it comes to positions. Give me like your top two or three maybe position battles that you're looking forward to seeing Friday and how it could maybe shape your opinion.
You mean like snap counts or going against opposing?
Uh, like, uh, like I want, like for me, I want to see what Jeremiah Trotter does. I want to see that competition. I want to see how he does against maybe what's it called versus I should say maybe a Jihad Campbell if he gets any burn. I doubt he'll be out there. I know Zach Bond won't be out there, but I want to see how Jeremiah Trotter does it with Smile Munden and all these other guys. Is our depth good
Chance
enough? You know what I'm
Campbell.
saying?
Chance Campbell out there too. Apparently,
Chance
Chance
Cam, yeah,
Campbell keep balling. Dude, I want to see. I outside of the linebacker group because we already know who we're fixated on. We know
yeah.
Zach Bond's going to be in there, and it's going to be a toss up between Jihad Campbell and Jeremiah Trotter Jr. It's Jihad Campbell's job, but I would definitely love to see Jeremiah Trotter Jr. go out there and compete. But what I'm looking forward to seeing is the rotation from that safety group. I wonder if they're actually going to play a Drew McCoop, even though he's a starter, or they're going to be like, you know what, Marcus Epps and Michael Carter, you guys go out there and play, or you kind of throw those guys out and you put like an Andre Simon or a Kapina Gushkin in. Um, I just want to see what they're going to give us in regards to the safety play, because for this team to be successful, I think we're gonna need dogs in the at starters, and we're also gonna need like quality backups. And when I say quality, I need quality. Like last year, we kind of took a step. We didn't really take a step back because we had Reed and then Marcus Epps came in. But if we didn't have Marcus Epps, then who was our backup? I think Andre Sam was our backup. Our backup.
Yeah.
I'm just trying to see who they have out there because these guys most likely they're not going to play unless they're needed. So I want to see who is going to go out there first and get snaps because it's going to give us an idea of okay, the other guys that they're not playing, those guys are starters. So what can these guys do just in case something happens? So I actually put a video up last Sunday, right? And I said the theme of week 2, right, was it wasn't about the plans that the Eagles made. It's about who stepped up when those plans kind of dissipated and crumbled. And it was about last week was about all the backups who actually came in and they played well in place of the people before them. I need to see that same thing when it comes to the safety group. Hasn't been a bad camp for them. Apparently, they played well, and a spot on the team that's been a weakness has actually been a strength. So I need to go out there and see that during our first game. I got to see the rotation, who they put out there first, how they play, and how the backups actually play after them. So linebacker, we kind of know what's going to happen. May the best man win, but that safety rotation is what really interests me. So I can't wait to see that.
Yeah, safety was probably going to be my answer, but since you took it,
My
you know
bad.
what I'm saying, I'll go somewhere else with it. I want to see that edge depth. I think that obviously we know we have a bunch of really good guys. I don't know outside of Jalix Hunt if anybody really is that guy yet. I'll be 100% honest. I could see Jonathan Grenard becoming that number one guy on the other side of Jalix Hunt. I could see Nolan Smith becoming that number one guy on the other side of Jalix Hunt. I could see Esperanza. There's a bunch of different guys that might kind of take advantage of that other side, but I think Jalix Hunt is pretty solid. I don't see anybody overtaking him. Everything I've heard has been amazing. Everything I've seen from him over the time he's been with us, it screams he's going to be that number one guy at some point, and I think it will be this year. So I'm interested to see who else kind of breaks out. Who else is going to be that guy? I know we picked up a lot of guys. We picked up AK from Atlanta. We picked up Bernard, Esperanza. A lot of people. So I want to see who kind of makes a name for themselves. And preseason, we're probably going to see some some good guys playing at that pass rusher position because there's so many. We have so many good players at the spot. So
What if Nolan Smith is out there? I'm like, damn.
if who?
If Nolan Smith is out there, I'd be like, damn, bro.
I
Like,
wouldn't be surprised. I wouldn't be surprised. I think he has something to prove this year as well. Like you've been getting hurt, you've been kind of inconsistent. So I think it's time for him to prove something. I think it was a little bit a decision for this franchise to say, do we want to give him his fifth year? Like, do we really want to do that? You know what I'm saying? They did, but I think they also made cognitive decisions to get somebody that can be better than him if need be. Like, I don't think that they went out there and got Grenard just because they want him to be the third in the rotation. I think that they're saying, hey, Nolan, it's time for you to step up. If you step up, perfect. He'll be another guy in this rotation. If you don't, you'll be another guy in this rotation and might be gone sooner than later. So it'll be interesting there. I want to say wide receiver. I've said quarterbacks already. I want to say wide receiver. I want to see what happens with Cooper. I want to see what happens with Johnny Wilson. We're going to cut somebody that most likely will be a 4 or 5 on a different team. I really do think that we're that deep when it comes to the wide receiver room. Yeah, so I think we're going to cut some really good players when it comes to that wide receiver room. And the last thing I'm going to say is I'm going to harp on it. I'm going to harp on it. I'm going to harp on it. If Jake Elliott misses any freaking field goal in this whole preseason, I am going to be on this channel screaming at the top of my lungs. What the heck? What the heck? Because we need to figure that out. That is not okay. We cannot lose, like you said. We can't lose games because of our kicker. And to stay on the special teams, I want to see our return game. I think, are you going to have a Hollywood Brown out there? Are you going to have Elijah Moore out there? Are you going to have Cooper? Like, who's going to be your return man? Because I think that we've been kind of slacking when it comes to return games. So that's probably, I know I gave like 5, but that's probably what I'm looking at. Shoot, I want to see if the cheerleaders do their job. Everybody got to do their job. Everybody got to do their job. We're a Super Bowl bound team, so I want to see everybody do their job.
indeed, I agree.
It's gonna be interesting. We got football coming. I still can't believe that. I'm. This is what we waited for.
Like, you waited the way the season ended last year, dude. I'm like a kid in a candy store because I need my get back. As
Yeah.
Shannon Sharp used to say, I need my restitution.
Yeah, facts.
You need all that back.
I don't
So
know
I'm-
if you can agree with this or if you can feel this. It didn't feel like the season ended last year because of the way it ended. It felt like we were supposed to play the next week. You know what I mean? Like it always felt every week like I can't believe that's it. Like 2024, it had its ending. It had, even in 2022 when we lost, it had its ending. It felt like it finished. We felt it finish. But so much unfinished business from last year. I think that we were a way better team than drama and just stupidity allowed us to be. So
Kevin, Kevin,
I'm ready.
say his name, Kevin.
Uh,
Tula. That's spot of here.
And AJ Brown. AJ Brown, when he came out, and I was one of those that was like, it is what it is. A lot of this is the media. And a lot of it was the media, but it was also him feeding the media. Like, that's the craziest thing to me. For him to be able to say that and with a straight face to be like, yeah, sometimes I would tell the media some stuff to get my team riled up. Like, what are you talking about, bro? Like, wait, what? What? Yeah. Him and Patullo, they deserve each other. I hope that Patullo gets a job with the Patriots very soon. I've said it before, I'll say it again. I'm hate watching the hell out of AJ Brown
Oh, I
this
will.
year.
I'm a Bills fan on that side now.
Yep.
I'll never have two teams, but I'm a Bills fan. I need it.
Yeah, I want them to just light him up. I really this is. I was talking to my wife about this, and I want to ask you this as well. I've never hated a player before. I really haven't. I look back on the Eagles, and I'm like, I've never sat there and been like, oh, I can't stand this guy. I hope he have I been mad at people? Yeah, I've been mad at Donovan McNabb. I've been mad at Deshaun Jackson when he left, or LaShawn McCoy. I've been mad at him a lot lately. But yeah, he says a lot of dumb stuff. But I've never hated somebody. I think I actually hate AJ Brown, and that's weird to say.
I think I do. I think I was trying to like I knew it was coming, but that the documentary I did on him, I gave him his flowers, and I think I said this before on here. But after all this stuff, I feel like a fool. Like I was
Yeah.
like, at the end, I was like, "Yo, thank you for all that you've given us and all this stuff," and I feel like a fool. Like I got a jersey. I'm not gonna show you. I got a signed jersey up here and a signed rookie card of his up here because I can't give it away because don't nobody want it.
Yeah.
So it's just sitting here. So every time I come down here, I see it and it pisses me off. But I don't want to get rid of it because I spent so much money on it. So
Trust me,
now,
I got a helmet.
so like, I don't wish no harm on nobody, but I don't like. I'm not wishing no harm on nobody, but I don't like.
The way you set that up.
But I don't like him. I don't like him at all. And it's just like I see him. Because it comes up now because he's so synonymous with the Philadelphia Eagles, so he's on my timeline even though I'm not looking for him. Like he got into a fight with somebody and all this other stuff. I don't care, but I have to keep seeing him. It pisses me off, bro. Like
It does.
it's just like, dude, go away. Like we can't get rid of you. We can't get rid of you, no matter how hard I try. So, do I hate AJ? Yes, I do. I do so.
All right, AJ Brown or Chip Kelly?
Damn, Chip Kelly.
Yeah, all right.
AJ
We're
Brown.
on the same page.
AJ Brown's one player, but Chip Kelly, he destroyed everything
He did.
for
And he
nothing.
didn't even win a championship for us. At least AJ Brown got us a championship in a couple good years. Like, yeah, definitely AJ Brown and Chip Kelly are like, it's 1A, 1B though. I will say that. Like Chip Kelly's definitely 1A, but it's 1B. And depending on how this season goes, like, because I feel like if he does well, he's gonna let everybody in Philadelphia know that he did well. And if he does that,
Yeah, he is. It's gonna piss me off.
it's gonna be like, okay, maybe you're 1A. Maybe you're climbing up to 1A, AJ. I want to see the Patriots do well. I would love to see the Patriots go to the Super Bowl so that we can play the Patriots. I'm dead serious. This is how twisted my mind is, Shy. I want AJ Brown to have a horrible season. 30 catches, 300 yards. I want the Patriots to do amazing. Amazing. I want them to have an amazing year. I want them to make it to the Super Bowl. And I want them to play the Eagles. And I want them to go on a game-winning drive. And I want A.J. Brown to drop the ball to win the game so that the Eagles win the
We ain't
game.
even win. Then he loses, but either way, it's a win.
Exactly.
Let me
I
stop.
want us to win the game because he dropped the ball in the Super Bowl. That's what I want.
Oh my
That's
God.
what I want.
I get it framed.
I would, oh my
get it
God.
framed.
You sign that for me. Sign that for me.
I get it framed. It'll be up there in his spot.
Yeah, I want that game used jersey. That's what I want. I want that one.
Yeah.
That's
Right,
how thick my
wipe
mind
your
is.
tears with it. You cry with it. Wipe your face with it. Yeah,
Yeah, exactly.
exactly.
Shy says she can't pick. Yeah. Chip was bad, bro. Chip was bad, bro.
We
That was like
lost. We lost LaShawn McCoy. We lost Deshaun Jackson. Who do
we kept Riley Cooper for some reason,
he was terrible, dude.
and he was racist.
Yeah,
Like how we lose all these people, but you keep him?
super racist. Then you bring in Kiko Alonso, who was
Oh my God.
kind of spit at that point.
After that was only his second year too, and he was already trash. It was like, why did we do that? Like it made sense. I will always say this to the day I die that trade in theory made sense. The players didn't make sense, but yes, at that point it probably made sense to give up LaShawn McCoy because we were paying him a lot of money and we had holes other places, but not for just Kiko Alonso. Like that don't like what?
Yeah, that was a trade for a trade.
Yeah, that made no sense. And
Yeah,
Kiko was on the last year of his contract.
Give me a draft pick.
A couple. Give me a couple of draft picks. That
And
was
he parlayed that into Murray, DeMarco Murray, and Jordan. Was it Ryan Matthews?
Ryan Matthews.
Ryan Matthews.
A bunch of trash. Bunch of trash, bro.
Yeah,
That was such a tough time to watch the Eagles play. People take it for granted what we got now. We have something special right now, but people always want to complain about our coach or our quarterback or this or that. We got something very good right now. Getting rid of AJ Brown just showed how special of a thing we have because they're willing to give up on a player that is proven to be very good, top 10 guy in this league. They're willing to give that up because it didn't mesh with the rest of the team, and I love that. I love it. They want winners, not whiners. I love it.
Indeed.
without Chip, there will be no Super Bowl now.
I
You're
get it.
not 100% wrong.
It hurt though. Me as I was a teenager when that happened. Was a teenager? I was in college. Then watching that, and then a lot of my friends were at the time Washington. I had a lot of friends in the NFC. So every time we would lose, bro, you can't fight everybody. You want to,
Yeah,
but you can't fight
you
everybody.
want to, right? We be fighting all day.
Hard times. I'm glad that we're not there anymore.
Yeah.
Hopefully we don't go back. I can't afford to go back. My little heart can't take it. But glad we're not in them times no more.
Yeah, I couldn't go on no 30-year streak like the Cowboys. But either way, man, we got 80 people in here. Shout out to everybody, man. That was a fun one. Shout out to Bart for winning that helmet. That's really dope. And we'll have something next week to give away. We'll see what we do. I want to start doing these weekly. That felt good. That felt fun. You know what I'm saying? But yeah, so definitely follow us on all our socials, guys. We have Breaking Philly. We have one that YouTube. We have a Twitter. We have a Instagram, a TikTok. Tiki Taki, we see. I'm gonna put that dance on the TikTok. That's what we do. So, so that's what we do. But no, be sure to go support us everywhere, guys. We're trying to make this bigger and bigger. Next week I should be home, so my camera won't be as blurry and look all crazy. I'm sorry, guys. It is what it is. A man got to work. But yeah, so next week we should be looking purdy and everything, and I'll have that helmet that I showed you in back of me. So I can't wait for that. But is there anything you want to say to these beautiful people before we get up out of here, Shy?
Two things. First off, everybody who supports the channel, I appreciate it. You could be anywhere for this hour and some change that we've been on here, but you decided to be here with us, so thank you and we appreciate you. Also, congratulations to Bart on the helmet. Be sure to get in contact with me so I can send that out. And for everybody who watched the video, gave their input, any like, comment, hype, I appreciate that. Got some other stuff in the works, so to give some stuff away too, so we can give it away on this channel. I'm working on something about a quarterback. If you enjoy quarterbacks, not a recent quarterback, but someone who kind of changed the face of the franchise back in the mid 2000s. So take your pick on that, and I should be giving something away from that also. And yeah, continue to support the Breaking Philly channel. Support Philly the podcast, his channel. Continue to support Midnight Green Mafia. We got a lot of in there. And we appreciate y'all. The more you guys do, the more time you guys show up, it kind of encourages us to do more. We appreciate y'all. We really do. So thank you.
Facts. And Philly, I do got to read this. This is if there wouldn't be no Howie if Chip was successful too. That's very true. That's very true. We got him out of the broom closet because Chip was so bad. And we had what's his name, Malcolm Jenkins. That was probably the best player that he picked up for us. Was Malcolm Jenkins. That was a big pickup for us. Yeah. I'll give him that. Other than that, screw him. But yeah, I appreciate everybody, man. These are always fun. I appreciate the bird section saying my camera wasn't too bad. You ain't got a lot of me, dog. You ain't got a lot of it. I'm self-conscious because you see my home setup. So when I'm on the road, it's like, whatever. But either way, next week I will figure something out. I'm going to figure something out. Maybe depending on how the game goes, maybe I'll pick an MVP from there. We give something away from that game, from one of our players. We'll figure something out. We always do. But yeah, I appreciate you guys like heck. If you guys are not doing anything, come on over to TikTok. I will be live later on at 10 o'clock. Come through, buy some memorabilia, get some stuff. Maybe not. Totally up to you. But other than that, yeah, I think that's it for us. Yeah, I ain't got nothing left for him. So I guess that's it. I've been Joe Castro.
I'm Brother Shy.
And that's been another episode of Breaking Philly, baby. And I'm going to start working out because I got to. Anyways, but yeah, y'all be safe, man. Y'all have a good week and go Birds, baby. We'll talk to you after the game. Let's go, baby. Peace.
Deuce.